Hi boys and girls, Mrs. Hinkle here with another math lesson for you today. Today is a game that I will be playing against Mr. Hinkle, and the game is called greater than, less than, or equal to. And the way that the game works is I have a dial here with numbers 0 through 10 and a lose a turn spot. I also have a dial here that's broken into thirds. And in the pieces, one says greater than, one says equal to, and one portion says less than. So in this game, I would spin this dial and get a number. I rolled 5. And then over here, I rolled equal to 5. So the only thing I can do is if I have a card in my hand that is 5, I play it. And then Mr. Hinkle would spin. He got a 9. And he got equal to. So the only thing he could play is a 9 if he had one in his hand. And then it would ping pong back to me. I spun a 10. And I spun greater than. That's kind of a lose-a-turn because our number line only goes to 10. So I'm not going to have a number that is greater than 10 in this game. And then it would be Mr. Hinkle's turn. If he spun the number 4 and got equal to, he could only play that. Let's say I spun 6 and less than. I could play any number that is less than 6. So in my hand, if I had a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, it would follow the rules less than 10. If I spun a 5 and it landed on greater than, I could play what numbers? If I had in my hand, I could play 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 because those are all numbers that are greater than 5. So I have some cards that I'm going to fan out in my hand. Mr. Hinkle has a stack of cards that he's going to fan out in his hand, and then we're going to spin our dials. The first person to have no cards left in their hand, like Uno, is the winner. So I'm going to pick up my stack and fan it out. I'll give you a peek. They're just large numbers. So these are the cards I have to choose from. And here's Mr. Hinkle's hand. Those are the numbers that he will be playing with. And I will let Mr. Hinkle go first. So first he's going to spin a number, 2, and now his directions. Equal to 2. So do you have a 2 in your hand?
I do not, so I cannot play.
Nope. He could only do equals to 2. So now I'm going to spin the number dial. I got a 7. Now I'm going to come over here and I got less than. So I can play any number less than 7. So boys and girls, tell me what numbers I can play if it's less than 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I do have a 0. So I'm going to play my 0 because 0 follows the rules of less than 7. All right, Mr. Hinkle. 4, less than. Do you have a number less than 4 in your hand?
I do have a number less than 4 in my hand.
And what number do you think he might have in his hand?
It could be a 3. It could be a 2. It could be a 1. It can't be 0 because 0 is already out there. And it is a 1.
All right. Now I'm going to give a spin. I spun a 1 and an equal to. So I would have to have a 1 in my hand because it has to be equal to 1. And I don't because Mr. Hinkle had it in his hand and played it. So it's like a lose-a-turn for me.
An 8 and less than.
So Mr. Hinkle could play a number less than 8 right now. So think in your mind, what number might he play?
Did you guess 6?
Does that follow the rules? Is it less than 8? Yes, it is. 4? Equal to. Equal to 4. I do not have a 4 in my hand, so I cannot play a card.
That again.
6.
6.
Greater than 6. So if Mr. Hinkle has a number in his hand that is greater than 6, he can play it right now.
And I'm going to play in 8 because that is greater than 6.
Very good. Okay, I'm going to spin.
On the line.
It's
Spin
on the
it
line.
again,
I'll
Mrs.
spin
Hinkle.
again. Thank you. A 2. Less than. Less than 2. Oh dear, boys and girls. The numbers less than 2 are 1 and 0 and have already been played. So I cannot do anything on this number line.
All right. A 2. Greater than.
Greater than 2. He can play a number greater than 2.
A 5.
5 is greater than 2. All right. Lose a turn. My goodness, Mrs. Hinkle is not having a lucky day today with her spins.
7 equal to.
Do you have a 7 in your hand?
I do not.
So that is the only thing he could play. So it's kind of a lose a turn for him. 1 greater than. Greater than 1. I have a lot of numbers in my hand that are greater than 1. I'm going to play this one. 2 is 1 greater than 1. All right.
8 equal to. Well, there's already an 8 out there, so I don't have an 8 in my hand, so that is like a lose a turn for me.
Okay. 4 less than. Less than 4. Phew. I have 1 in my hand that is less than 4. What is it, boys and girls? Look at 1 in my hand less than 4. It can only be 1. It's 3. Okay, I'm going to place 3 down.
8 less than 8. I do have a number that's less than 8, and it is my last card in my hand. It is the number 4. And now I'm
dear.
all out of cards.
So he beat me. I still had the numbers 10, 9, and 7 in my hand. And Mr. Hinkle's cards are played. So he is the winner on greater than, less than, or equal to. Thank you, Mr. Hinkle. Have a good day, friends.
Bye, kids.